Hello and welcome to Victoria 3. I'm excited for this playthrough. I've been playing Victoria 3 a little bit since it came out, and we're going to be starting a game with New Granada. The goal here, we are going to try to create the Bolivarian socialist South American state as envisioned and see if we can make it actually happen this time. So we're playing on regular settings, everything default here. Without any more delay, let's dive in. Now, I'm still fairly new at Victoria 3. I don't know this game as well as some others that I've played on the channel, but I'm still excited to play through it. Now, I think the first thing I really want to focus on is getting our economy up and running. That'll enable us to really do some more things politically. So I'm going to start with the stock exchange, and that'll help us with our trade routes, which will help us import the goods we can't produce and export the ones that we can produce a lot of. So looking at our states, we have hardwood as a great a bonus there from the Amazon. The Andes just make it tougher to build. That's in both of these provinces. And Antioquia also has the Andes, so tough to build. And then we've got Panama, which has discoverable resources, but has no real bonuses. So we've got 5 construction here. Let's look at our market and see what we can really use some more of. So lumber is definitely something that's expensive in the market right now. And the cheaper that gets, there's a lot of things that feeds into. So let's see where we can build it. I like to use the building browser, I think, usually. Yeah, so we just have logging camps in this province, but I think I'm going to build... Oh, this is actually unincorporated. We'll definitely have to do that. I'm going to build one in Guaviare because we get that hardwood bonus. So we'll take advantage of that as much as we're able. I don't really plan to fight a lot of wars, or at least not until later on. So let's see if we can actually knock down our military a little bit. I don't want to be spending so much money on that. Just drop 2 barracks. It'll cut some of our employment, which is bad, but then we won't be spending money on maintaining those troops. Now for our money, we've got a good gold reserve, so I'm actually going to cut taxes a little bit. And hopefully, one thing that'll do is that'll help our investment pool to grow a little more. Not a lot. Our investment pool is still pretty tiny. But it'll improve our standard of living, I think, as our pops are more able to afford the things they need. So let's look at diplomacy. We've got 875 influence. 2 main routes we can go are the US or Mexico. I think I'm inclined, we don't really have to pick one right now. So let's improve relations with both. We still have 425 left. When we declare a rivalry, that actually gives us more influence. I don't know if we have any rivals we want to declare right now. Let's, who else would be good is Great Britain. Just because they're so powerful, they have so many colonies around us that the more we are friends with them, then that should help us with trade, make them less likely to attack us or anything like that. So let's look at our economies and kind of see what we have going on here. So all of our manufacturing is in Cundinamarca here. Do we have any actual factories, any urban centers anywhere else? No. We have a little up here, but it's just a trade center. So we don't want to, we can encourage manufacturing here. And we get more enactment time, but it's not, we're over the cap here, so it's not too helpful. And then what does our, let's kill that. That was an accident. What does our economy look like elsewhere? So we get some tobacco and sugar here. bananas and coffee. Mexico just took Texas. Corn, cotton, sugar. So we have a little bit of agriculture everywhere. And then basically nothing in the Amazonas region. So let's encourage agriculture here, get some more throughput. And then the greener grass campaign. I don't think we're really getting any foreign immigrants yet, so I'm not going to spend my authority there. So our authority, or our bureaucracy, just improved. I'm curious how that happened. So we have this trade route's inactive, this one's unproductive, and look, clearing those out, now we have bureaucracy, a surplus of bureaucracy. All right, so what are we missing here? We have a shortage of artillery. I'm not going to be able to produce that on our own here. Let's see what would be productive. I like this production tab. I think it's cool. It makes it a little easier to see what would be profitable. I know that's kind of short-sighted, just picking based on profit, but right now we're just trying to get people employed, get the standard of living going. I think tooling workshops will be good for us. First, we'll build them with wood, because that's what we have. We don't have the coal and iron set up yet. Now building, still trying to remember how this whole interface works. All right, so Brazil took one of those rebel countries here. Now, where is it that we can pick our construction? All right, so we got stock exchange, got some more bureaucracy for it. Banking will increase our minting and interest rate. Central archives helps out our government administration, which will be helpful. We have plenty of authority. Empiricism, influence and education, prestige, not super helpful. Not ready to go with a health system yet. Napoleonic warfare, I'm assuming that'll spread to us, and we are not going to be focusing on war. So I think that leaves us with production here. Intensive agriculture will be good. We can do chemical plants there. I forget what are the inputs for chemical. Iron and sulfur. So we won't have that yet. We could start doing steel, start working towards steel. The lathe will be helpful for furniture. I know that's, or not for furniture. Yep, yeah, for furniture manufacturers. That will help us a lot as we start building some furniture. And fractional distillation. So that's for food industries. You can start making some liquor. But let's go with the Bessemer process. I think steel is a possibility because we have coal and iron. And while we're building that tooling workshop, the next thing I'm going to queue up is a new construction sector. Trying to look at where to put that. I'm just going to throw it in Antioquia because that's where we have the most population. And with those peasants, we want to get them employed so that they are have a higher income, higher standard of living. Now, I know in the most recent patch, we're on 1.06 now, that radicals were debuffed a little bit because in previous versions, you're just getting so many radicals. So it's good to see that that's moderated a little. Now, if we're going to start moving toward communism or socialism, I want to get the trade unions and the intelligentsia moving. So if we reform here, let's see, the petite bourgeoisie, they're not too helpful because they just don't have a lot of support. The Conservative Party, unfortunately, is just having that legitimacy is going to be a big help for us. We get a lot of loyalists from that. I didn't set that up right. All right, yeah. So we'll have a lot of loyalists, not many radicals. They'll be pretty pleased with our setup. So I think we've got just about everything we need set up pretty well. Catholic Church is now powerful. Any laws we want to take a look at? So wealth voting, that's as far down. We want to get to universal suffrage. Presidential republic. Yeah, I think that's parliamentary would be interesting. Just thinking about where we want to go. We want to get to total separation. We'll need the intelligentsia to help us out there. Internal security. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think that'll help us too much. Per capita taxation. I think that's a good setup for us. Colonial affairs. Now we could start doing some colonizing. I don't know if we really have any spots where we can colonize. Let's look at the map. See how that looks. Gotta get rid of this lens. Yeah, so that's part of Brazil, so we can't really colonize it. And we look at the places that can be colonized, down here, down here. I don't know if we have the interests. Maybe we can actually. So if we declare an interest in La Plata, can we try colonialism? I haven't tried it before. I did a little bit as Brazil in a Brazilian playthrough. Now here's one that we would really need. Moving toward banning slavery. That one is going to be big for our playthrough because we want equality. We want to get rid of that strict hierarchy. Revolution brewing. Because they don't like the slavery thing. I'll bail on that. I'll check it out. They called me. Now, schools and health systems. I think schools would be helpful for us. That might get us moving toward the intelligentsia a little bit. So our budget with where we're at now, we don't want to waste money. So let's see what we can do. Let's increase that construction level, start moving a little faster. Let's just increase our government wages. That should increase some prosperity for us. With those workers making a little more money. I'm curious why our progress is different than our construction provided. Oh, Andes, I see. Now if we look at construction goods, let's see, 5% construction, plus 2 construction. Yeah. So we could, I'd like to start making our own small arms, but that's a big production chain we have to go through. We've got to get our iron, and then we have to get our small arms factories set up as well. Claiming the enactment of largest schools would affect the country's Amazonian inhabitants in a disproportionately negative way. Amazonian firebrands have riled their communities against it. Token amends. Address their concerns. Nah, don't want to empower the landowners, and we're gonna force it through. So do we have furniture manufactories yet? I mean, just like the barracks. Yeah, so we do have furniture manufactories, and we have lathes. Let's import some tools. We've got the resources to do that. So where can we actually get it from? From Chile? Yes, it works. Now, let's see, we should see this furniture manufactory ticking up. Yeah, we're employing more people. We are... Yeah, now this is going well. We got a good weekly balance here. And a bad weekly balance. So where is that coming from? Wood is expensive. Yeah, let's... Alright, we got the popular playwright. That's a good event. Just increases the success chance. So we need more logging camps. And I think we absolutely should go for the economies of scale here. And just keep those moving. Construction sectors are pretty quick to build. They're only 50 construction. And it'll really increase our output once we get those moving. Let's lower taxes again. I mean, we're essentially wasting it. All right, so we have 10% education access, 20% conversion. This increases the Catholic Church strength, but that's not too much of an obstacle for us. Trade unions like it, industrialists like it. And let's look at our institutions. So I think we might be able to increase education. Nope, just on level 1 there. We'll need to research some technology before we can change that. I wonder why we're still at... Okay, now it's kicking up. I think we just needed to get that construction sector employed. I think we were just waiting on that. All right, empiricism. Now we can increase the... Yep, see, we're getting the employment kicking up. We do need more iron. So that should be our next production item. Just have one iron mine here that we can build in the country. But we'll get that taken care of. Now with institutions, yeah, we can go level 2. Oh, can't afford the 15 bureaucracy. Let's look at our taxation capacity and see if there's a spot where it would make sense to build some government administration. We don't really need it in any of our states so far. Our taxation capacity is fine. We could use a little more bureaucracy. Industrial boom. So yeah, we're just getting a good boost from our textile mills. I like it. Now our tooling workshops aren't doing too well. I wonder why. And I'm going to subsidize those. Oh, because wood's so expensive. That's why. So we really do need to get these wood logging camps up and running. Yeah, so we got the iron mine coming next. And let's build another construction sector. I think that's going to be a bottleneck for us. With the logging camp going up, we can now do sawmills too. It'll take tools, but it'll also increase our production, and we want that tooling factory to be fully used. We're rural. Yeah, let's do everyone's sawmills. All right, so our gold reserves are ticking down a little now. I'm going to throw it back to standard taxes. And we just are running a temporary deficit due to construction goods. That's fine. So what's next for us? Canneries, we do have a good amount of agriculture. Percussion caps will let us build munition plants. I think we're a little further away from that. Society, not too worried about mass communication. Banking will help us just keep our economy moving smoothly. So let's see how that tooling workshop looks now. Yeah, we've got a positive weekly balance because our wood price came down. It's still high, but it'll come down. And I want to get to a point where we can start doing hardwood, but we don't need hardwood yet. That would just decrease the amount of regular wood that we're producing and not give us any benefit. So how do our relations look? We're kind of maxed out with the UK. US and Mexico like us. Maybe let's get Argentina on our side. If we get into some diplomatic plays, it would be good to have them, you know, being friendly toward us. And why not Venezuela too while we're at it? Ecuador, what do their interactions look like? I want Ecuador, not the Ecuadorian market. All right. So their diplomacy, they owe obligations to the U.S. Let's call them a rival. Can we? So we got to change our interest. Don't want La Plata. I want Ecuador. So the Andes. Now, can I declare them to be a rival? Oh, they're too small. Oh, well, that'll help us, I think, with setting up our Swedish-Brazil interest. Interesting. I think Ecuador is going to be our first move. Decent population on that coast. Andes, greener grass, good agriculture. Yeah, I think that's going to be our first move. So I know I just knocked down our military at the start, but we're gonna build them back up a little. And then what else do we need? We need trade routes, because we're gonna need artillery and small arms. We can't produce those ourselves. Maybe we have enough small arms. Where's artillery? Things being in alphabetical order always throws me off. I'm never expecting it. And barracks are super quick to build. So do we have any generals? No. We have 13 regulars. Liberal Party, there we go. That's what we want. So Gran Colombia, who is it? Let's see. Cruel, ambitious, traditionalist, defensive, diplomat. We don't really have flat terrain, and I don't want it to be the rural folk, so let's go with this guy. And we'll throw these wages back to regular. Could use a little more governing capacity, so let's do that next. Where does it make the most sense? Let's throw one in Panama just because we don't have one there, and it might be useful to have them a little spread out later on. Make sure every region has a little bit. I'm going to increase taxes a little bit. I know that's going to hurt my standard of living slightly, but I want to be in a better position when it's time to go to war. That's expensive, and I would prefer to have a little bit of gold reserves built up. So the Liberal Party did not do well. Our legitimacy is still 100%. Let's suppress, or not suppress, wow, let's bolster the intelligentsia. I think that's going to be our route forward here. We could also go for Costa Rica. It's only 82,000 people. That might be an easier first step. Because Ecuador is going to be a bit more challenging. Let's see what their military looks like. Can we see that? 10 barracks. So they'll get 10 battalions. Farming boom. All right. You can see our credit. We'll take care of that in not too long at all. Our investment pools are also building up, though not very quickly. My last playthrough on my own, I still am playing as Persia, and that's a fun one. They are able to produce quite a bit, have some good resources, but it's interesting being in a part of the world that I haven't played too much in Paradox games. I've put the most hours in Hearts of Iron, and Persia's just not too fun to play, especially when you're like me and not that great at the game. So let's see, what would we get for changing our artillery a little bit? I'm going to change just a couple of them because it's expensive to do, and I don't want to hit that all at once. All right, so we've got 15,000 in the investment pool. What's going to make us some cash? Let's look at our market and see what's expensive. We could use some grain, clothing. Clothing is always it, and then services, which we need to get urban centers for. Tools are expensive. Iron is cheap. So let's change our tooling to make pig iron tools, because iron is so cheap. That'll increase the amount we can put through, and also use some of our iron supplies. Which I'm guessing that, wow, we are unlocking technology quickly here. Well, since we're thinking about conquest, we got Napoleonic warfare. Field works, shell guns already going through. Naval base. Got some new ships, port. Don't really need any of those. Let's keep going elsewhere. So we want to go to the labor movement. So egalitarianism is going to be our next play. Now, what's going on with our iron mine? Okay, so now we have iron picking up. Still picks and shovels. We don't really have a way to increase production here. Let's expand it. Because iron's so expensive now. Oh, I wonder if iron got expensive because we started building buildings at the same exact time. That's why. So what can we export for some cash? Let's see. Just gonna click through these, see if anything pops out. If anyone knows of any better ways to do this, let me know. Let's export some furniture to America. Should be some good money in that. Sugar to France. Yeah, once we get this iron mine constructed, that should be a big help for us. And then again, looking at Ecuador and what they've got, they don't have a lot of conscriptable battalions. We've got 15 and 4, so we do outnumber them. I'm not confident that our troops are better than theirs, though. That's what I'm a little concerned about. Alright, so that's built. We've got that iron mine increasing production. I think we need some more troops. That's what I think would help us the most. Yeah, let's keep building this. Another industrial boom. I like getting those events. Ecuador wishes for a defensive pact. I have some bad news, Ecuador. I'm slightly sorry about this, but only slightly. So we'll build this next. Let's see. Once again, I am sorry about this, Ecuador. So let's do this this diplomatic play. Why can we not? They're too high. Let's damage them. How much can we sabotage this? Who else can we? We'll take some infamy. Now what else can we do? Trade agreements? I'm just kind of curious here. I don't fully understand the trade agreements mechanic. I think it reduces your tariffs in between. So we're paying off our credit. Our investment pool is climbing. That gets eaten up quickly in just a few weeks, though. And because we have interventionism, we can use that for any building. All right, so we're down to neutral now. Let's see if we can... yeah, now we can conquer it. All right, so we've got a lot of countries that might jump in. But we have very friendly relations with most of them. So I'm hoping that will prevent them from joining Ecuador's side. Can we add a war goal? Yeah, let's conquer the other state while we're at it. Let's see, once we get to the diplomatic maneuvers phase... Dutch East Indies would accept. All right, then we will sway Argentina. And who are you? Bolivia? Okay. Too bad I couldn't get the UK or the US or Brazil. And then Dutch East Indies has no flotillas, so I'm not sure if they would need that to actually send some troops over. So let's mobilize our generals and get them defending this front. And here we go. Not going to activate my conscripts because that's 4 battalions, and I don't think it's worth the damage to my economy to do that. So let's see how this front's doing. The Argentinians are actually beating them while outnumbered, which I will gladly take. And look at that, we're still actually gaining money. I'd expect us to be losing money. All right, Argentina, you just take care of this. I'll sit back. There we go. Now it's Bolivia. I don't know if we've actually lost anyone, if we've fought a battle. It's just our friends doing it for us. One thing I think will be interesting after this is to look at how integrating them goes. If we'll see a lot of, like unrest, radicals. And how am I fighting with one guy? How does that even work? There we go. Now I've got a big Bolivian army. Alright, so they've capitulated. Ecuador is ours. Now, devastation is getting better, but we also have turmoil. Let's see what we can use decrees, I think, to maybe promoting national values. Yeah, assimilation and conversion. Let's see if that helps. The other thing is I want to incorporate Amazonas. Do I need to incorporate this? Yes. We'll have a small deficit here. Wonder what's costing us money. Input goods shortages. So we don't need the trade route for tools. What are we short on? Clippers. Get them from France. Save some money on that. And where else? What else can we save some money on? Importing coffee into Colombia? Seems unlikely. You know, we've saved quite a bit of money in our investment pool, quite a bit being 86,000, because we haven't built in a bit. So let's take a look at what agriculture buildings we can build. Rice, banana. Let's do some bananas in Panama. I'm curious to see the population here. So I have Quechua, North Andean, Afro-Caribbean, mostly Catholic. Oh, and slaves too. We do want to move away from slavery. Can we see cultures? We should see what even is my culture? North Andean, Afro-Caribbean. Yeah, so North Andean is our main culture. So it actually should help, being that Ecuador is a lot of the same culture. So if we start thinking about our economy, steel's big for a lot of the later industrialization stuff. But, when you look at what's plentiful for us, it's food. So if we build a good food economy, that could be, we get like our canneries going and some of those industries, that could be really profitable for us. And then maybe just import the other stuff. Well, let's see how this looks. Population's actually doing okay. We're still seeing growth. All right, egalitarianism is unlocked. We're incorporating that state. Nationalism's not something we're super interested in. Pharmaceuticals would be helpful as we're looking at our health. All right, so we've got the atmospheric engine, which I can't remember if that requires coal or machines or engines. So tools and coal. So what we're seeing now is that iron is cheap. Venezuela wants a defensive pact. I'll take that for now. So let's see what I want to start just running up these plantations. Get that economy of scale going and start to really make some cash on it. All right, so the liberals are actually picking up a little bit. I'm wondering where I can see my own, what's it called? Infamy. That's what I wanted. So the intelligentsia is really gaining some followers here. I need 200 authority. So I wonder if I stop bolstering the intelligentsia, and then I can start bolstering the trade unions. These are the things we want to see. Anti-slavery, populist, either way, egalitarian. When those start moving, that'll be fun for us. So what does Costa Rica have? Coal, logging, fishing, some plantations, not a ton of arable land, but it'll open the door to Nicaragua, which again isn't big. 290,000 people. How many are in Costa Rica? 83,000. Honduras and El Salvador, those are bigger populations. And just logging, fishing, and agriculture. So we really need to build our economy around agriculture. And maybe just enough coal and steel to keep, some industry going internally. I don't want to get too greedy and risk other countries ganging up on me if I take Costa Rica now. And I'm not trying to blob here, but Peru doesn't like us. Well, let's see. Bolivia is a puppet of Peru. They've got some serious people behind them. Maybe we can make Venezuela an ally. How does that look? Form alliance? Just barely. We'll have to get a little stronger, and I think that will make Venezuela want to be our ally more. Build another coffee plantation. I think those have a lot of export potential. And it'll just get our people employed. How is Ecuador looking for us? So there's still a drag on our economy. But it's getting better. I'm not too sure how to get rid of radicals. I'm guessing we would need them to Let's see what it says. Created when a pop is subject to discrimination or their standard of living falls low. So loyalists, we'd want to create loyalists. So how do we create loyalists? Standard of living increases and special events. Okay. So we need some higher standard of living. Reducing taxes should help us. And then, so we need to get rid of discrimination. That's what's driving some of those radicals, I'm guessing. Trade unions are up to 2% now. Racial segregation. No, we want to go to the other way with that one. Health system. Can we afford a health system? We don't have the bureaucracy for it. So let's build another, what is it? Why can I not find this? There, political government administration. There we go. Where should we go? Wow, Ecuador actually has the most peasants for us. Let's build one here. I wonder if we check back just not even too long after. How are the... What do we have here? Costa Rica wants a defensive pact. Pass. Trade unions are still at 2%. Our cash flow is lower than I would like. For most things, we can use our investment pool, but not for government administration, which is why that's not doing anything right now. Let's just get some more agriculture going in Ecuador while I've got the points for it. All right, so I want to do health systems. That'll increase our population. It'll decrease our mortality, just get more people living in our country. Oh, didn't realize we had control of Galapagos too. Cool. So we do have the lower strata are struggling in Ecuador. I wonder why. Doesn't look like there's a lot of employment for them. So what would generate the most? Maize, bananas, cotton, sugar, dye. I'm not ready to commit to logging. We could always use more wood. I think that makes the most sense right now. And when these buildings are more profitable, that's more wages. See the £8 wage. 21 pounds. Wow, that is big. But when these logging camps are more profitable, that's higher wages paid to those workers and increases their standard of living, which is what we want to get rid of radicals. Now, our radicals decreased. I wonder if that's just because our economy's doing a little better. And then we should see with that logging camp some good wages. See their standard of living start to tick up. And let's keep building in Ecuador. I want that to be a strong province for us. Donation of knowledge. Oh yeah, we'll take a university. That also boosts the industrial or the intelligentsia for us, and helps us move in that more liberal direction. We have a shortage of iron. So let's expand this. I'll spend the money on it. So we got intensive agriculture. And central banking. Very nice. Modern sewage. Max construction, infrastructure. Realism is just prestige. I don't think I need prestige right now. What if we shift over to production? Canneries. Canneries could be big for us because of all the food that we have. Now, how does our standard of living look now? Where is that at? Yeah, so the minimum expected is 6.8. I'd like to be far above that. We're at 9.9. I want to get that in double digits. So the turmoil is decreasing slowly, which is good. The state's incorporated now. Still working on this one. I wonder why that's so slow. And we're just slowly building up. So what's the next big move? I'd like to take on Peru. 34 battalions. What about diplomacy? Who are their friends? They've got some good friends. But we need to make sure we have friends who are just as powerful. We're already good with Chile. Venezuela, we have a defensive pact. So that's good. Cuba's part of Spain. Haiti. Haiti could be interesting. They have a sizable population. They're very weak. Should we build a navy? Is that what we need to do? Alright, so what's going on here? Oh, Guarani Uprising versus Paraguay. Not my problem. So we need... Do we do a shipbuilding industry? That could be interesting. So we've got a port. A naval base, we need man of wars, which means we would need a shipyard. And then what does a shipyard use? Fabric and wood. Fabric comes from... How many layers deep in tooltips am I now? Livestock, cotton, so we have those. Let's build a shipyard. That could be our next big one. We got 61,000 peasants there. 33, 170. Ecuador. Ecuador could be our shipyard. And I don't think it simulates the need for them to come all the way around the, what is this? I forget what this is called here. But I'm guessing it makes it pretty easy to just go straight through. Venezuela wants to be in an alliance? Yes, let's do it. Alright, so we are going to get ready to capture Haiti. That's going to be our move. I think, oh, crop failure. That's no good. Government expenses. Let's do it. We'll spend the money. Not that we have much money to spend, ouch. Alright, gotta raise taxes, sorry everyone. Yep, so we're just paying construction goods right now. That's fine. I think when I've looked at this before, at this point in the game, there's usually a shortage of clippers. You can usually sell them pretty well. So I think we'll be fine. That industry should be profitable for us, and then we could start building up our navy just a little bit so that we can capture Haiti. They don't have a navy, so we don't need very much. I think we'll call a close to this episode. We'll call a close to this episode after we get the shipyard built and make sure it has what it needs. This iron mine looks like it's doing well. Iron's expensive still. we could probably throw a coal mine up and use that to support our iron mine. Brazil is not too happy with us. That is interesting. So clippers and man of war, not in demand right now. We'll subsidize this to get production up. And then let's see if we can export. Actually, let's check our trade routes on the screen first, because then we can see, you know, where, if there are any we can cancel. Clippers. Who wants clippers? The Dutch. The Dutch want clippers. So with that, that's our main problem, is that clippers are cheap. Man of wars are very cheap. Man of wars. Man of wars. Let's run with that. So after this gets built, let's go with our first naval base. I think we only need one to actually get to Haiti. See, the church could be an obstacle for us, so we'll get them out of the way. Free government reform. Trade unions are decreasing. I wonder why. What happens if we do a liberal party government supported by the rural folk? Nope. Not enough support in the Liberal Party for that. Alright, and after this, we really got to stop with construction a little bit. Our credit's getting dicey. So how does having that affect our shipyards? Now the price should increase a little, since we have a naval base. They're still getting employed. It's pretty slow that they are coming through. And our standard of living is decreased a little bit. Don't really like that. Probably because I had to raise taxes so high. I don't feel like dropping wages is the right way to go. So we need another general, since we have battalions in reserve. And who would do there? Let's go with the rural guy. And then we need an admiral for our one ship. Oh, from the intelligentsia. Yes, that's what we want. Now, is this going to help our shipyard be profitable? Not quite. Cheaper wood. So we'll build up that logging camp. I wonder if we can export man of wars somewhere. There we go. Austria, with their famously large navy, would like to buy ships from us. So let's see how that affects our demand. Our price is still low. I wonder how many we can actually export to Austria. So now we have canneries unlocked. That's, I think maybe we could start looking at really expanding that. Railways. Railways are very important. Not that we can afford them right now, but I'd like to one day. The duel. Who are these guys? A politician from the armed forces. A politician from the armed forces. Go at it. We still don't have enough man of war demand. Now, if I expanded our navy, I wonder if that would actually do it. Probably just because there's not very many employed here, right? Probably just needs time to recruit. All right, so here we have some market access problems. Let's do the decree for road maintenance, see if that alleviates it a little. Yep, using 5 of 5. Okay. Alright, I was hoping the shipyard would be more successful in boosting the standard of living here. I would get a good wage for these guys, these 5,000 workers, but it does not appear to be the case. Maybe there's something we can import that would help. What's expensive? What's killing me? Paper? No. I know paper's been a problem with other playthroughs. Nothing really. I'm not seeing anything. Clothes? Want to do more exports for Man of War. Just get that moving. So we're seeing subsidies, not doing much. Government wages. Government administrations. We have a lot of administration. Have no choice. But we gotta cut it. And wow, what is doing this to me? There we go. Stay positive. They start doing some tariffs on exports. All right, so we've got a little bit of breathing room. What was under construction? Okay. We got a little bit of breathing room. What we really need is more government administration. That's going to be expensive. And I don't quite see a way out of this. Simply. I think this is a good place to call the episode. We are kind of in between parts of the campaign here. We're looking at expanding our navy and taking out Haiti, trying to find a way to get our financial situation under control, and trying to recover from the debacle of my decision to start a shipbuilding industry. Looks like that's finally starting to turn around, but we will see how that goes next time. So thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed the game, and we'll be back soon with more Victoria 3. Have a good one.